Welcome to today's class. So in today's lecture, we'll be talking about graphic design as a whole, right? And some of our lesson outlines are written on the screen as you can see. So we'll be exploring what graphic design is, the element of design, the principles of design, types of design, introduction to designing tools, right? And also composition and layout basis, right? So these are the whole lesson outline we'll be talking about today. So I want you to stay tuned and pay rapt attention. The class is going to be um, very nice, right? So please pay up attention. So the first outline is definition of graphic design. So yeah, this presentation will actually walk us through the essential concepts, principles, and tools that form the bedrock of visual communication. Now you may want to take 5 seconds off to ask yourself what graphic design means. Right? Simply put, graphic design is the visual representation of ideas using images, typography, colors, etc. Now let's go to the next slide. Now it says, what exactly is graphic design? Graphic design is the powerful practice of crafting visual messages using a strategic blend of images, like I said earlier, typography, colors, shapes, and layouts. Now it is where artistic vision meets functional communication, helping brands and individuals articulate their ideas clearly, persuasively, and attractively. Right? I said this earlier on. Simply means the visual representation of ideas, right? Using what now? Images, layout, colors, shapes, e.t.c. Now, the ultimate purpose of graphic design is to actually what now? Communicate ideas, right? That is when functionality comes into the design. There are certain designs when you see them, they are given without even going in depth into the information on the flyer, because the old font, the old color is actually what now? Already passing the message. That's an example of what now? Of a functional design. That's an example of a design that communicates. You get? Now, if you come down, you see something like creative expression, you see strategic function and clear communication. That is the 3 aims of graphic design. It expresses itself, it's functional, and it what now? It communicates. Now let's move on to the next slide. It says, where does graphic design live? Graphic design is ubiquitous, permeating nearly every visual aspect of our daily lives, from physical products to digital experiences. Understanding its diverse application is key to mastering the craft. Now, graphic design is literally everywhere, right? Now, remember I said graphic design is literally the visual representation of what now? Of what we can see. Now, imagine me going to my OP app. Okay, for those of us not in Nigeria, we know OP app is actually a fintech company, right? Where we actually make transactions. Now, when I go to that my page, OP is a product, right? It's a product. When I go to my OP app, the visuals I can see is still part of graphic design. It's just that we now have different niches of what now designs, right? So graphic design is the visual part you can see, and graphic design is everywhere. When you're actually passing the street, you see billboards, you see banners, you see a lot. So I said graphic design is everywhere. You get? Now, we have logos and branding, we have print media, we have the digital platforms, we have packaging, we have UI UX element. You get? They are everywhere. Now, an example of graphic design, a part of it is what now? Logos and branding, print media, digital platforms, packaging, UI UX elements, etc. Now, lesson outline 2, the fundamental element of design. Now, these are things that actually what now makes up your what now design. In a general sense, it's more like the building block. Just when you say cell is the building block, right, of all living things. Same way, what now? The fundamental element of design is the what now? Building block of what now? Of all designs. Now let's go through our slide. It says, these are the core components, the building blocks that designers manipulate to create compelling visual compositions. You get? Now, number 1 is what now? Line. Now, line creates direction, movement, and structure, guiding the viewer's eyes across the design. You get? I would, before the end of the class, I would actually what now show us all this practical stuff I mean. You get? Now, when we're talking about colors, color evokes mood, establishes hierarchy, and defines personality through its vast psychological and aesthetic impact. Now, colors actually what now bring out the life in your design. Truth be told, colors actually what now bring out the life in your design, and it also what now allows for visual hierarchy. Now, there are certain things you would want to operate, right? Your colors would actually what now give you visual hierarchy. Now, I would give an example. Take for example, you're on a call with somebody, right? Now, if you notice, when a person is calling you, okay, let me reframe the example. If you notice when a person is calling you, right, at the top of your screen or your screen, you see a green icon and what now? And a what now? Red icon. Now, what is that telling us? That green icon is actually what now? Passing the message. The green color of the icon is passing the message. Why the red color is also what now? Passing the message. That's why I said, when I said visual hierarchy, Do you understand what I mean by that now? Because it actually what now passes a message. Now that green color actually shows that pick the call. Why the red actually what now means end the call or decline. And that's that for that. Now shape. Shape utilizes geometric, organic or abstract forms for icons, visual structuring and emphasis, adding visual interest. Right. Shape can be used for a lot in design. As with time, we would actually talk about this thing when we start the practical aspect of everything. Now we're talking about texture. Texture adds depth and visual richness, whether real, through photography or implied, through patterns and visual effects. Do you get? Now space. The space around, within and between elements, crucial for preventing clutter, enhancing visibility and establishing focus. Now I want to open up a design to actually explain all these things I've said here. Let me go to my software to I think I would go to Pixel app. Right. So I can explain. Now, if you look at this flyer, right, what is it giving? It's giving a fashion brand. Now, the overall color is giving a fashion brand. No, as time goes on, we'll actually talk about these things. The color is warm, it's suiting. Right, I spoke about color. We've spoken about color here. I spoke about spacing. Now, spacing can appear in two forms. We have the margin and we have the padding. Now, if you notice, right, there is a space. There's a distance between the what now, the edge of the what now, of the box, and these are Wolf Mega seals. Now, that's a form of spacing. We have different types of spacing. Like I said, we have the margin and we have the padding. So now, spacing is encompassing a lot here. You get? Now margin is what now? Is the outer space. While padding is the inner space. With time, when we go further, we'll actually get to understand all these things perfectly. You get? Now what do we speak about again? We spoke about texture, the way your design works now, the way your design feels. Moving forward, we'll talk more about it. Right? And we spoke about shape. If you look at that design, we can see shapes there, we can see our color, we can see our line, create direction, movement, and structure, guiding the viewer's eyes across the design. That's that line I actually put that has rows and columns. That's the line I'm actually talking about here. Do you get? So now moving forward. Guiding principles of designs. Now these principles dictate how design elements are organized and arranged to form cohesive, effective and visually pleasing composition. Now guiding principles of design. Number one, it says contrast. Now what is contrast? Right. Contrast is simply the differences between what now, two elements to either give them what now, visual hierarchy or clarity. Now take for example this page that you're looking at now. If you look at the page, the first thing you're going to notice is guiding principles of design. Now this is an example of contrast. Now if you look at that, looking at the text underneath it, you discover that the font size is what now, small. While the one above, that's the guiding principles of design, is what now, big. That's an example of what now, contrast. Differences between what now, two elements. Now the two elements here is what now, is the font. Contrast is relative, depending on what now, the context in which you want to use it. Now this is the font contrast. We also have what now, color contrast. Light versus what now, dark. Or we also have color contrast. Yes, like I said, we have take for example, color blue. Color blue have different shades. We have the light blue, we have the dark blue, we have the whatever blue you want to call it. So depending on the hierarchy I want to give to it, we will determine the what now, the color I'm going to use. Do you get? Now we have alignment. Alignment is how your design is being aligned. Is it aligned properly? Because there are some designs they are just like they are scattered. Now let's go through it. Organizes elements visually, creating a sense of order, stability and professional polish in the design. Alignment to make your work neatly arranged, to organize your work properly. Now what is balance? The next one is balance. It says achieve true symmetrical, equal visual weight or asymmetrically, intentionally, or even but stable distribution, ensuring visual equilibrium. Now balance is when your design is what now? Is balanced. Simple as the name implies. Do you get? Now we're talking about next proximity. Now what's proximity in the real sense? Proximity simply means what now? Nearness. Proximity simply deals with how your elements in a design are close to each other. Grouping related items together to organize information logically. It reduces clutter and improves comprehension. It's how close, like I said, how close your elements are together. Now, there will be a way your elements would be so close together that clutter will happen. Compactness, it will be so choked up. So proximity is how your elements are far apart, how they are close together, how they are either close or far apart. But in a nutshell, they have to be what now? They have to be making sense. So, like what they said now, to improve comprehension. Do you get? Now the next, we have what we call typography. This is a very, very important part. Now what is typography? Now, typography is a very, very important aspect of design, right? It gives the overall feel of what your design should be like. Now, like I said your the type of font you use actually gives the overall feel of your design, even without going through it. Now, I did the design, and I want to show you guys something. Okay, now see this design. See the color. Take note of the color. The font I used. Right? It's giving veiled chaos, like it's really giving the veiled chaos. Coupled with the fact that coupled with the imagery I used, sorry. Right? So everything is actually in sync with each other. Do you get? So it should actually give this, it should actually go ahead even before I go into the design proper, or I view the design properly. Your phone should be giving me that feeling. Like, it's already given without even being told. This is actually a music poster I made. Right? This is actually a movie poster I made. Now, going back to the class. Now, we have difference between what now? Typeface and what now? Font. Now, we said typeface, the overall design style, e.g. Helvetica. Example, Times New Roman. Example, Montserrat. But now, when we are talking about font is a specific variation of a typeface. Now, let me tell you something. If you actually download the font, let's say Montserrat, right? Or if you actually download the typeface, let's say Montserrat. Inside that Montserrat, you're actually going to what now? See different what now variations of what now font inside the Montserrat. You'll see things like regular, you see things like bold, you see things like semi-bold, you see things like thin, you see things like extra bold, a lot of it. So now note the difference. Typefaces are called what now? Your normal things you would call a font. I don't know if I just made sense. So typeface include things like Helvetica, Montserrat, Poppins. There are a lot of them. I'm just calling the most popular one. Area Black, Area. That's the most popular one we know, right? Or we know. Now our font now includes the variation of the typeface. If it should be thin, if it should be fat, if it should be light. Do you get? Now, going further, we have key concepts. Number one, we have readability. Ease of reading large blocks of text. Now, your font should be readable without you straining your eyes. Now, number two, we have the what now? Legibility. Right? It should be bold. It should be legible. That's the clarity of individual characters. Number next, we have the font pairing, combining different typefaces effectively. Yes, moving forward, I would learn about this, how to combine what now? Different types of font, right? Such a way that it's given. There might be different fonts of different font family, but if you know how to actually what now combine them, it will actually what now be given. Do you get? Now we have line height, we have tracking, and we have kerning. Now that's for that. Now let's go to the next slide. Now the next one we're actually going to be talking about is spacing, right? Spacing is a critical yet often overlooked aspect of design that profoundly impacts visual harmony, readability, and overall aesthetics. It is what separates amateur work from polished professional composition. I think I've given an example of this before. Yes. Spacing. Now I said spacing is even categorized into two. We have the margin and we have the padding. But let's go through our slide so we can follow. Now we have the white space. That's the negative space. What's white space? The white space is the empty areas around and between design elements. Far from being nothing, it provides breathing room, reduces clutter, highlight focal points, and significantly improves what now? Readability. That's that for the white space. Now we have the inner and outer spacing. The inner and outer spacing. Let's go. The inner spacing, the space within elements like the gap between text and the edge of a button or container, often called padding. Do you get? Now take for example, if I have a button. Okay, let me go back to that design I showed us earlier. Now look at this design properly. This 28th August 2025. If you notice, there's some space around it. Now that is called padding. It's more like padding is the space contained in a particular container. Do you get? Okay, I think this has. So that's that for that. So they said the space within elements like the gap between text and the edge of a button or container. Remember I said that word container, button. It's called what now? Padding. While outer spacing, the space around an entire element separating it from other elements is known as what now? Margin. Do you get? Now imagine I have two texts. Okay, let me give an example. Take for example, I have two boxes placed side by side. Right? Now the spacing between what now? Those two buttons is called what now? Margin. Do you get? Now, exploring diverse fields of graphic design. Remember I said there are a lot. There are a lot of them. Now we have graphic design is a vast umbrella encompassing specialized areas that demand unique skill set and approaches. Each category serves distinct purposes and what now? Audiences. Now number one is called what now? Branding design. Now what is branding design? Branding design actually entails us crafting logos, identity systems, and comprehensive brand style guides that define a company's visual personality and presence. It provides a what now? Brand guideline. We craft logos, we identify systems, and what now? We create comprehensive brand guidelines that align with what now? With companies what now? Standards. Now we have print design. Print design simply means designing for physical outputs, including flyers, brochures, posters, product packaging, and business cards, requiring an understanding of print processes. This is self-explanatory, right? Print design are those things we see around, those handbills given to us in form of flyers, like people would often call it right? Brochures, product packaging, etc. Now we have digital design. Digital design simply means creating visuals for online platforms like social media, ads, banners, blog covers, etc. Now digital design is often not printed out. It's designs that are actually what now? Done for what now? Social media what now? Social media pages, right? They are done for what now? Online presences or online presence, sorry. For social media, their specific niches based around what now? The social media world. That's that for digital design. Now we have web/UI graphics. Now these are design that focuses on user interface elements such as icons, web layout, interface components, and hero images that enhance user experience. Now, if you remember something, I don't know if it was in this class I made mention about UI, user experience, but I gave example of OP. Now, I think I gave an example of OP at the beginning of the class. Now, that OP there is actually what now? User interface, which actually falls under the what now? UI, right? Is what the users can actually what now? See. It focuses on what now? The icons, the web layout. What's the meaning of layout? The structure of your design, be it a web design, a UI design, or your normal graphic design. Do you get? Now, regardless of the specialization, the core design principles remain constant, adapting to different formats and tools. That is just it. It's as simple as that. Regardless of what now? Regardless of the specialization, be it UI design, branding design, product design, or web design, the principle applies to all. Although there might be a little tweak here and there, but still there, the principle applies to what now? All. Now, the next thing on our slide is key design tools and their applications. Now, number one is Adobe Photoshop. This is a very, very what now? Common software tools used by what now? Designers. Now, number two is Adobe Illustrator. It's still used by what now? Designers. It's another popular software tools. It is used for what now? Vector based, perfect for scalable logos, icons, and intricate illustrations that need to require quality at any size. Now, the next we have is what now? CorelDRAW. Now, vector-based, widely used for print design, large-scale materials, and precise technical illustrations. Now, number next is Canva. Canva, template-based, beginner-friendly for quick design, social media graphics, and accessible visual content creations. Now, most of the time, many people actually underplay the function of what now? Canva. Canva is very vast. Canva is very responsive. How do I mean by responsive? Canva can be used on both mobile and laptops. Right? It's very, 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 very vast. Once you actually understand the intricacies of Canva, you would value Canva very well. Now, number next is what now? Pixel Lab. Pixel Lab is mobile friendly. We can actually use it to do anything you want to do. We can use all this what now? Software tools to do whatever it is you want to do. Now, that's that for that. But most of the time, Adobe Photoshop is often regarded as what now? The master is the top. But still yet, there are other software tools that can be used to perform same action. Yes. No, they said what's this quote? Knowledge is key. Ignorance is a bastard. Ignorance is a disease. So you need to be aware of the two. You need to be aware of the intricacies. You need to be aware of the deeper understanding of the two before you actually what now? Make some validation. I have used all. I make use of all the what now? The design tools, so I can actually what now? Attest to what I'm saying, or they actually proves to what it is I'm saying right now. Do you get? So that's that for that. Now the next slide. Composition and layout. Arranging visual harmony. Composition and layout define how elements are arranged on the canvas, dictating visual flow, hierarchy, and overall impact. We've said this before. Hierarchy, guiding the user's eyes to the most important information first, using size, weight, placement, and color. I think when I was even explaining this, I made mention about contrast, and I said it is relative. We have font contrast, we have color contrast, we have size contrast, depending. Everything all boils down to what now? Hierarchy. You get? Now we have grids, underlying structures that align elements consistently, ensuring order and professionalism across various design. When we are talking about the practical aspect, I would make mention about this. I'll show us. Now we have the white space, strategic use of empty areas to create breathing room, reduce clutter, and enhance readability. White spacing is the space. It's more like a gap. The space you choose to leave between what now? Text or around text to actually what now? Make it what now? Readable. Now take for example, white spacing actually applies to something like line spacing. Yes. Now if you look at this old text, you will discover that after I write each word or after I write each statement, there's a what now? There's a gap between the first statement and the next statement. Now that's an example of what now? White space. Right? Because if I choose to jam pack the line spacing, if I choose to reduce it, the text will be compact and you would not be able to what now? See anything. It will not be clear. Do you get? So that's an example of white space. Now the next is consistency. Repeating visual attributes like color, style, spacing, and typeface to build a strong, recognizable visual identity. Now this is very, very, very what now? Very, very important as designers. Now imagine I'm working in a firm, right? And the color the firm uses, they make use of red, right? But now me as a designer, I say I choose to be creative. Now, Knowing fully well that their brand guideline is what now, or their main color guide is what now, red, I now choose to be using blue, to be using green, to be using black. Simply put, I choose to be using what now, different color, because I say I'm creative enough. Now that is very bad. That is very bad to the what now, to the brand, because you are not maintaining what now, consistency in the brand, what now, in the branding. Now I'm not saying using color blue and black is bad, no, but there are ways you can actually infuse it into your design in such a way that it is still what now, be giving the what now, the brand color, the brand identity. So maintain consistency. Now, remember I said there are different types of design. You have the UI design, which is more like your product design. Now imagine I open OP, right? And the icons differ by size. It's not nice. Now when they talk about consistency, that's also an example of consistency. Consistency in size. Now when the icon is 15 pixels, it should be 15 pixels all around, except in certain situations where certain hierarchy needs to be what now, given. Do you get? Now that's that for that. Now the next is focal point. The single most dominant element that immediately captures attention, making the design's purpose what now, clear. All boils down to what now, hierarchy. Now let's go to the next.
Now the next lesson outline actually said we should explore different design interfaces, right? But for the sake of this class, we'll just be exploring one design interface, right, which is Pixel Lab. Remember I said we have a lot of software design tools. We have the Photoshop, we have the Illustrator, we have the CorelDRAW, we have the Canva, we have the Pixel Lab, we have a lot, right? Now today this is how the Pixel Lab interface looks like, right? And it is very, very easy to navigate. I'm actually going to be taking us through every single tool that we need. Now this is the default background when you open your Pixel Lab, right? Now take note of the four what now, white icons at the bottom right corner. Do you get? Now take for example, I want to change this text. I'm actually going to what now, click on the what now, second icon at the what now, bottom right corner. Now when I click on it, I'm going to see a lot. You'll see two, like you see the edit tool, you see the delete tool, you see the copy, you see the to front, you see to back, to position, relative position, you see a lot of them. You see colors, you see texture. Remember we said something about texture in our class earlier, right? Texture is that feel that has been added to a design, right? But with time, when we go on and when we actually practicalize certain things, we'll actually gain more clarity. Now we are seeing the rotate, we are seeing the mask, we are seeing the fonts, we are seeing the curve, we are seeing the background, we are seeing a lot, the emboss tool, we are seeing the perspective, we are seeing the 3D rotate, we are seeing the 3D text. Do you get? There are a lot of it, there are a lot of them, depending on what you want to do to this text. Now take for example, I want to edit this new text, and I want to write something like let's write Imago Dei. Now I've already written Imago Dei, and take for example, I want to add a color to it. I go to color, then any color of my choice. Let me click on this black. So it has affected already. Simple as that. Now that's that for the what now, second icon at the bottom right corner. Now let's explore the third icon at the bottom right corner. Let's tap out. Now we are seeing stickers. You can choose to add any of the sticker you want depending on what it is you're working on. But these stickers are really not important. I consider them low-key relevant, but depending on what it is you're working on, you can still make do with them. You can still make use of them. If you are creative enough, here you're good to go. That's for sticker. Now the next we have is import. Now this import actually allows for us to what now, bring from our gallery, either from our Google Drive or our gallery. It allows us to what now, import certain things, be it the background, be it what now, be it anything at all you want to do. That's that for that. Now the draw tool allows us to what now, draw anything that we want, right? Now we have the shape. We've spoken about the shape, right? The shape tool allows us to use what now, any type of shape we want, depending on what it is you want to do. That's that for the shape tool. Now we have the Bezier mode, we have the arrow. They have their different functions. Now the next icon, which is the last icon we are going to explore, is this. Now this icon is narrowed down to our background specifically. Now take for example, I want to make this background. Remember I said this is the default background, right? Now take for example, I want to make this background something like black. Now I'm going to click on this color, and I'm going to go to color, and can you see? But now I cannot choose color black because my text is color black, so let's go with white instead. Now I can choose to also make my background transparent. Remember I said the last icon at the bottom right is specifically tailored or narrowed down to what now, just the background color alone. Now imagine I want to make my background transparent. I can click on transparent. Can you see? The color has gone. Now let's take it back. Now image size, I can choose to what now, the resolution of my image. Now this is a square. This is a square type of what now, resolution 1280 by 1280. Now we have the image. Now what this image does is what now, to make either of this what now, this background as our main background. That's what the image does for us. Do you get? As simple as that. Now what do we have again? We have from gallery. Now what does from gallery means? It simply means importing a what now, a background from your gallery to what now, Pixel Lab as your main background. Do you get? So it is that simple. These are the tools literally. Now let's follow. We've spoken about what now, the bottom right tools. Now let's speak about the what now, the up tools. That's the tool at the what now, at the up part. Now we have an arrow that is kind of pointing backwards. That simply means for us to undo our action. Do you get? That's number one. Now we have this plus then search icon. It actually allows for us to zoom the image, allows for us to what now, zoom our design. Now we also have this tool at the top. It allows for us to what now, make alignment. This is a form of grid. This is a grid, right? Grids are mostly in columns and in rows, right? Now with the purpose of this with the inclusion of this grid, our design can actually be what now, aligned properly, because it allows us to what now, fix a what now, particular set point where we want to start our design from. Now I'll give an example. Take for example, I want my imago day to start from somewhere like this, and I want other designs to follow suit in that order. Now, me doing it manually can actually what now, since we are just starting out, me doing it manually will actually not be so efficient, as I might actually think they are aligned, whereas they are not. Because like I said, we are starting out what now, like a basic learner. Do you get? Now I'm actually going to apply this grid, and I'm going to touch anyone. I want to apply the changes to the what now, to the vertical part of it. So I'm actually going to move it. And this way, I think it's fine. Then I'm going to lock it. I think it's fine this way. Then I can move my imago day such that it overlaps with what now? It overlaps with the grid. Now can we see? It's overlapping. Simple. Now the next one, the next tool after the grid tool is what now? This one here. Now it allows for us to see what we've imported and what we've written down, or what we've done so far. Now imagine let me copy this imago day. Let me copy this imago day. Now if I click on this place, we're going to see it's appearing 3 times. So it's more like, okay, what have we imported on our design? So this particular thing shows us what we've imported. Now let me click on the first imago day. If you click on it, you will notice that a blue icon, or a blue border is on the text. That's on our left hand side. Let's follow please. A blue icon is on what now? On the last text at the left hand side. Do you get? Now if I click on it, you will see an icon that looks like padlock. Now if I click on the padlock, it locks it. That means if I tap on this, it cannot tap again. It cannot highlight. Now let me remove the padlock. If I tap on it, it's tapping back. Can you see? Now we have the no eyes. How do I mean? That simply means make it invisible. Now when I click on this, you can't see it. Now we also have the delete. Let's take it back. And we also have what now? This text tool. You can choose whatever it is you want to do with this. You can either what now? Edit, copy, rotate, choose your color. So this is actually what now? Is more like a shortcut. Do you get? Now that is that for that. Now the next one is what now? The plus icon. The plus icon is simply like a shortcut to what I've explained at the what now? At the bottom right corner of this Pixel Lab interface. Because we have the text, we have the current date, we have the sticker, we have the shapes, we have the from gallery, we have the draw. We've discussed about these things before. Now the next one is this particular one. These particular icons allow us to save our projects on Pixel Lab and save our projects on our phone. Now when I press save as project, it automatically saves to what now? Pixel Lab. Can you see? Now when I click save as image, it saves to my phone. I don't want to save it yet because we've not done anything. Now the next one is what now? Your share icon. It allows you for what now? To share. Now the next is our quotes icon. It allows us what now? Import any quotes it is we want. Do you get? Now the next icon is still like what now? A summary of what we've spoken about. Do you get? It's a summary of what now? We've spoken about. It's that simple. So that's all for what now? The Pixel Lab interface. So moving forward, we would actually be talking about we would actually be going into the practical aspect of what now? Of this design. Right, and we'll be working on the project motivational poster design, how to create it from the very scratch to the very beginning. And it's actually going to be a basic design because we are just starting out, so there's nothing going to be cumbersome there. So just watch out for the next episode. Now moving forward, I said we'll be making a motivational flyer design, right? And yes, we would actually be replicating a design which I did. Yes, so I'm going to import the design, right? I'm going to import the design to see how it looks like. Do you get? This is what the design is giving. Right, this is the design we have to replicate here. Now let's get back to our Pixel Lab. Yeah. Now I said I'm going to import the design, right? So let's just import it. So yes, this is the design. So this is what we are going to follow for this course. Now, first things first, let me quickly hide this design so it's not made with our design. Now remember I taught us how to hide. We are going to click on this icon and we're going to hide it so we can't see it. Now let me also lock it. Now first things first, what do? I need to change this background color. Now remember I told you when we have to change the background color, we consider those 4 icons at the bottom right corner. and choose the what now, the last icon to change the background color. Now I click on this, then I go to what now, color. Now let me choose white as the background because obviously that is what we have there. Do you understand? Now moving forward, let's go back and see how our design is given, or how our design looks like. Now if you look at our design that I imported here, it's looking as though it has a texture, right? It's having a texture. It's not plainly white. It has a texture at the background. So I need a background as well, but I don't want to make the background the main background. So what do I need to do? I'm going to import the background instead of making the background the main background. I don't know if you got what I said, right? So let me explain it now. Practical is very, very key, right? So yes, I've chosen the color. Now let's go to what now, import. Now I'm going to import, then this is the texture I'm using. Now if you notice, our design is a what now, is a square design. So I'm going to what now, crop it to what now, one by one, then I'm going to shift it down. It depends on what it is you want, but I'll just shift mine down because I can see some things. It's not plain, so I want something like this. That's why I'm actually shifting it down. So let's select good. Now I'm actually going to what now, align it such that it fits into what now, to the square. Now let's move this up. Okay, there's no press. Okay, perfect. Then after this, I don't want it to be too all over the place, so I can actually what now, add opacity. Now let's add opacity. Let me make my opacity around 30. I think you can see it here, but it's faint already. So what does opacity do? It reduces what now? It reduces the way an element is being seen. In summary, it reduces the visibility of an element. So yeah, let's reduce the opacity to what now, 30. Now let me lock this so it does not meddle with our design. Now if I tap on it, sorry, oh my god, cancel. Now if I tap on the background, it cannot move here. That's that for that. Now let me delete this text icon self. Let me delete it. Now what's the next thing to do? I have my logos. If you look at the inspiration, let's bring this to front. If you look at this, I have my logo, right? So let's import the logo. Now let's go to import. Pick any logo of your choice. You necessarily do not need to use the elements, provided you get the gist. You get. Okay, this isn't the logo. Yes, perfecto. Now remember I said we have grids in the last episode I spoke about. I said we have grids. Now what does grid help us to, or what does grid help us with? It helps with alignment. Now let me enable grid in this my design. For this part, let me make it like 8. Okay, let me just make it, let's make it 6. Then let's make this part, let's make it 94. I don't know if you get the logic. Moving backwards, it's 100. So 100 minus 94, that's 6. So it's still the same thing here. Do you get? Let's work on this. Let's make this 6 as well. Let's make it 6. And let's make the down part like 94. Perfecto. So now, let me remove all that ones I'm not using. Now I'm going to remove the lines I don't want to make use of. Now let's remove this. Right, I just removed that. Okay, sorry. Perfect then. So now let's move forward. Now let me increase the size of my logo a bit. Let me lock this. Let me increase the size of my logo a bit. So yes, all good. Now let's push it downwards by a small margin. Right, all good. Now what's the next thing we are going to be having? We are going to be having the text that says angle quote. Right, now let me go to my text tool and bring this downwards. Let's edit angle quote, done. Okay, now let's make this color black. Right, then let's go to our font. Let's choose a nice font and let's go to the most recent font. I'll use the Montserrat for this. Now let's use Montserrat medium. Then our size, let's make our size somewhat, I think let's make it 24. 23 works just fine. If it doesn't work, we'll still. Now I actually click on relative position to align my item to the center. That's all. That's what I did. Now let's move it forwards. Now sorry, let's move it upwards instead. Now I also want to do one more thing. I want to reduce the size of my logo a bit. Then let's move it such that it aligns with that grid that we actually put there. Do you get? Yep, all good. Let's move this upwards. Now what's the next thing? Now let's get our what now? Our shape, our rectangular shape, because that's what we can see from there. Bring our rectangle shape. Okay, I think the font I made use of in the original design is a Poppins font, from the way I'm saying it. For the Engulf quote, the font I made use of is actually what now? A Poppins font. So we can change it or choose to leave it like that. Let me just change it to what now? Poppins. Right, let's just change it to Poppins, because it's not giving Montserrat at all. Now Poppins regular. All good, yeah, all good. Now let's align it to the center. Perfecto. Right, now the next thing is to get our rectangle. Right, now let's go get our rectangle. Now when I get my rectangle, depending on the size you want, it's up to you. Everything is up to you to make. Right, now I'll give it a radius of let's say 10. Yeah, then I will give it a color. I want it to have a gradient color, right? Now it's very easy for you to choose the gradient color. Just click on the plus icon, right? Then choose any color of your choice. Choose any color of your choice. But me, I already have a gradient color here, so I'll just stick with this. Yes, I'm going to stick with this. Then increase this stuff a little. Then perfecto. Then I'm going to what now? Do my relative position like I've been always doing. I'm going to make it to be in the center. You get? Now it's all making sense now, yeah. Now let's bring this forward so we can know what it is. Oh my god, take it to the back. Okay, I lock this. Now can you see? So literally we are following suit. We are on track. Now let's lock this and let's hide this. Now what do we need to do again? I need to what now? Give this shape a shining edge. Now for me to actually give the shape a shining edge, I can choose to use inner shadow. Right, now notice what the inner shadow is doing. Now when I click on color black and I enable offset white, enable offset X, can you see what it's doing? Yes, so I want it to like shine at the edge. So for me to actually achieve this, I'm going to make use of a color white. I'm going to make use of what now? The white color, because I don't want it to be too much. Now me making use of the white color, I would apply what now? Opacity to it. So I'll reduce the what now? The visibility of the white. Let me reduce it small. Now I think I like this. Now let me make my offset X5, my offset Y. Let's check it out. Okay, let's make offset Y -3. I want it to be at the bottom. Sorry for that. Perfecto. Yeah, all good. Now if you notice the original image I dropped, you will notice something, that there is a texture overlay on this shape. So how do I achieve that? Now I'm actually going to copy this shape here. I'm going to copy it, then put it on top of what now? On top of the what now? Already existing shape. Let me make it to the center. Let me take it to the center. Now when I do this, what am I going to do? I'm going to go to what now? My texture, and select any background of my choice. And what now? Select any background of my choice. Now let's go with this. Yeah, perfecto. Now let's scale our texture to fit the background. If you notice, if you look at this background now, you see like 3 different variations of the background I imported. I don't want that to happen, so I'm actually going to what now? Scale it. Now when I scale it, you would see that, or you would notice that it's still not scaling properly. So now I would click on what now? The image what now section again in my texture, right? Then I'll select it again. Then what now? Crop it. Let's make it a what now? Let's make it a 1:1 resolution kind of a thing. Now let's click on yes. Now let's go to texture bag and let's scale it. Can you see it's now fitting perfectly? Perfecto. That is it. Now I don't want this what I did now to be very, very dominant. So I can also what now? Apply opacity to it. Now let's reduce the opacity to something, let's say 29 is fair enough. 29 is fair enough. Now let's check this out. 29 is fair enough. Let's just leave it like that. Right. And let's lock it as well. Let me reduce it small. Opacity, let's reduce it small. Yeah, let's make it 25. All good. Now if you notice, there is a text, right? There's a text that signifies the quote or whatsoever. Now remember I told you at the top at the top of this Pixel Lab interface, we have a what now? A quote icon there. Do you get? Now we have a quote icon. Let me click on the quote icon and select any of the quote I want. Let's just go with this. Yes, let's go with this. And let's choose our font. Let's select a font. I'll choose Montserrat for this particular quote, because yes, if not Montserrat, then what? So yeah, let's go to Montserrat. Let's just choose Montserrat. And I think I'll be making use of Montserrat semi-bold for this, right? And you need to understand colors. Me looking at this, black can never go on blue because the blue is kind of giving a dark shade of blue, and black is also what now? Also dark. So they are not compatible with each other. So I'm actually going to choose the color white here. Now I'm actually going to reduce the font size. Now let's go. Let's go to size. Right now, let's reduce it to something, say 25. 25 is fair enough. Okay. Yeah. And yes, I'm actually aligning this text to the center. It's even center aligned already. So yeah, you can choose any of the alignments you want, but for the sake of this, we'll be aligning to the center. I think this text right up is even too much. This text, let me see what I chose in the other one I showed us. Whatever you want. Now let's choose whatever you want. I think that text is too long. Okay, yeah, I can find. Okay, yep, perfecto, perfect. Let's align this text to the center. So yes, I think this is all good. Okay, and relative position. I don't like this. Let me increase the size of the text to 17. Okay, I think this is fair enough. No, it is not. The line spacing as well. So let's say 3 should do. Please, I chose if you notice, I chose the typeface Montserrat, then I chose the font Montserrat semi-bold. All clear. Now, what's the next thing? You will notice there is a picture at the down part. Now there are two ways of adding picture to a shape, and I'll teach us the very common one, the very simple one. Now, when I click on shape, I'll click on the shape I want a circle, right? So I reduce this to fit in what it is I want. Yeah. Then I move it downward a bit. Right. Yes. Move it downward a bit, and perfecto, all good. Now we will just keep on adjusting till it's fitting perfectly. Right. Now let's center line all good. Right. Now we'll be going to our texture next. We're actually going to choose the texture of the image as seen on our inspiration. So I'm going to choose this image and I'm going to copy it such that it fits into the texture, right? And yes, let's copy it. Okay, perfect. Let's move it up a bit. And okay, let's just do it this way if it will work, right? So yes, this is perfect, right? But when I'm scaling down, it's not scaling properly. It's not center aligned. So I'll have to reduce it again. Make the resolution is square one, like really square, right? Then I think this is good to go. Yes, this is good to go. Now let's scale it down. Right, let's scale it down. Yeah, I think it's perfect. Then I'm going to enable my stroke, to just 2 pixels. So I think that's all. So what's the next thing? Let's view our inspiration and see what's remaining. Yes. So I'm actually going to import that stuff underneath the quotes. Yeah, we're going to import that. And then let's check it out. I've passed it, perfect. I've seen it. So I'm going to be choosing the second to the last one, and I'm cropping it out. I'm going to crop it out, and yeah, perfect. Next thing, we'll reduce the size. Then just make it look similar to what it is we have. Now I'm in inspiration. So yeah, let's rotate it by -2. Yeah, we're going to rotate it so it can fit in perfectly. Right. So yeah. Moving upwards a bit. Let's move it upwards a bit. Yes. So that is that for that. So the next, let's try to move it upwards a bit. Let's move everything we've done so far upwards a bit. So the down can have breathing space. That's when we want to actually add our footer section. Right. So let's just move everything upwards a bit by small margin. Right. Yeah. Then. Okay, perfecto. I've reduced the size a little bit. It's looking too big. So the next is to add our footer section. Our footer section is given a rectangle that is being given a very crazy radius, a radius of 100%. Right. So what we are going to do is to reduce the opacity of the fill. Right. Then increase the stroke of the shape to 1 pixel to 1, sorry, right, and make it color black, make the stroke color black. So I think that's going to be all. Then yeah, we can edit that a bit. Let's edit our rectangle a bit. Yes. Then when we do so, we're going to make our relative position to the center. Let's just do that. We'll make it to the center, right? I think it's giving what we have there. Let's move it up a bit, and perfecto. So the next we are going to do is to import, right, is to import the logo at the bottom part. But before that, I'm still trying to work on the logo. Let's try to increase it or decrease it a little bit. Right. Yes, I think it's too big. Yeah, perfect. Now, can you see the function of the grid is helping us align the logo and align everything well? Do you get? So I think this should work. This should work. This should work. So now the next thing we are going to do is to move everything upwards, plus the angle quote, everything upwards, right? It should also move upwards a bit. So yes, we'll just move it upwards by a small margin. So can you see now? So you can give the footer section breathing space. It does not look choked up, right? So that is that for that. This will do. Perfecto. So let's move it upwards a bit. Yes. Now the next thing, let's check our inspo. Next thing we're going to do is to import our logo. That's the logo at the bottom part. We're going to import that. Right now it has a color white here. So first off, let's just increase the size a bit. Then go change our color to black. By default, Pixel Lab has any color you're changing it to changes to red by default. So that's why you saw red there. So I'm actually going to change it to black, which I did already. I'm just going to increase the size a bit so it does not look so small. Now when I increase the size, I'm going to put the relative position to center. Right, so this works perfectly. Now let's move this down a bit. And yes, from here like this is already giving the inspirational flyer we did. So one more thing we are going to do, one more thing. We are going to actually add a text, like the person's name. Take for example, this motivational speaker was said by this person, so you are going to add what now? The person's name by the side of the image. Now let's just add Engo visuals, right? Yes, perfecto. Let's make it engo.visuals. I think engo.visuals would make more sense. Engo.visuals would make more sense. So let's go correct that. Engo.visuals, yeah, perfecto. Now, yes, let's align it properly. And move downwards a bit. Okay, this is giving already. So the next thing for us to save as project. I was supposed to save it anyhow, but let's just save it to what we worked on, motivational quote, right? Design. So I think that's a sensible name, motivational quote design. Now we've saved it on the Pixel Lab interface. Now the next for us to save it on our device. Right now, I prefer saving my image in PNG because there are two sections. We have JPG and PNG, and I prefer my quality being what now? Ultra. I prefer saving my stuff in Ultra. Yeah, in Ultra. I think that was a mistake there. Ultra or the highest level in Pixel Lab. That's what you should do as well. So I think that's all for this. That's all for the class. Now let's go check out our design. Now this is the final look of everything, and you are good to go. This is your motivational quote, whatever design. This is the final look of everything, of how everything is, right? So that is all for your motivational quote design. Simple.